Somebody in Black Ops 6 Zombies is lying to us. We are not being told the truth. How are these zombie outbreaks happening again after we closed the rifts in Black Ops Cold War? There should be no more zombies, but there are. And there is one character in BO6 Zombies which so far I am more suspicious about than anyone, and that is Sam, the Synaptic Algorithm Module, AI based off Samantha's brain. This robot, I guess you could call her, on one hand seems to be helping us. She's told us that we can save Samantha from the Dark Aether using the Sentinel artifact. It seems like she's trying to figure out how these zombie outbreaks in Liberty Falls, Terminus and Citadel de Mo have occurred, but on the other hand, there is information that she knows that she is withholding from us. And more so, what is Sam's end goal? What does she get out of all of this? Because she is just AI, right? You would expect it to have no invested interest other than itself. And well, along with all of the radios that we have in our 3 Zombies maps so far, and the new character conversations that we listen to in Citadel de Mo between Weaver, Carver, Grey Strauss, Maya, Peck, Revanov, and Sam, some of the things they say just makes me even more suspicious that this AI version of Samantha isn't telling us the truth. Just quickly, if for some reason you haven't been staying up to date with the BO6 storyline and you aren't really aware of who Sam is, she is AI that was created by Richtofen based off scans of Samantha's brain. When he had her in his captivity back in Black Ops Cold War, Richtofen took scans of Samantha's brain and implemented it into an AI system called the Synaptic Algorithm Module, otherwise known as SAM. Now, the exact reason why he created her, we don't know. Sam tells us that Richtofen hoped to replicate Samantha's abilities, but if you listen to the radios in Liberty Falls, because in that intro cutscene you can see underneath Richtofen's Project Janus mansion, that is where Sam is located, at least her hub. And through one of the radios, we get to hear the very first time Richtofen powered up Sam in 1989, attempting to synchronize her higher and lower functions.
July 14, 1989. The time is 9:35 a.m. and I am going to attempt to synchronize the Synaptic Algorithm Module's lower and higher functions for the first time. Commencing low-level startup procedures.
Voice routines, online. Memory interface, online. Systems interface, online. Loading memory lattice. Loading complete.
So far, so good. Let's align, synchronize, and then start her Cortex simulation.
Loading Cortex scans. Loading complete. Synchronizing fabric. Synchronization complete. Adding Cortex daemon to process list. Rebooting.
How are you feeling, Sam?
Where am I?
Voice modulation will need to be modified. Recalibrate GPS. She shouldn't need to ask where she is. You are with friends. My name is Edward. You are my guest.
Good afternoon, Edward.
You just arrived. I'm looking forward to spending time together. Tell me, what do you remember before waking up?
I remember a knife. A promise I couldn't keep. A morning that would never come.
Do not worry. You are safe here.
Blood on my hands. But where are my hands? I don't understand.
Sam, those sound like nightmares. They are not real.
How? How do I know what's real and what isn't?
Because I will help you. Would you like that?
Yes, I would like that very much. Thank you, Eddie.
As soon as Sam wakes up, Richtofen asks her what is one of the first things you remember before you woke up, and she told him she remembers a knife, a promise that she couldn't keep, a morning that would never come, blood on my hands, but where are my hands? To me, it sounds like Richtofen programmed Sam's memory to begin back when she was trapped in the Dark Aether in Firebase C. She was thrown into there by Dr. Peck on the orders of Richtofen. She was trapped in the Dark Aether for 2 days, but because time in the Dark Aether works differently, for her, she was actually in there for, I think it was 3 months. And while she was in the Dark Aether, she recorded many messages for us that you can listen to in Cold War, and we'll listen to the similarities between what Samantha said to us when she was trapped in the Dark Aether and what Sam is saying to us, what she's telling us she remembers just before Richtofen powered her up.
I don't know how or why, but I am remembering. I was angry before, and I am so sorry. That wasn't me. was it? It really wasn't who I wanted to be. I made a promise. A promise I couldn't keep. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have kept you safe. I didn't. Maybe that anger made me do things I wish I hadn't done.
So it sounds like Richtofen has programmed her memory to begin just after she was thrown in the Dark Aether. Why would Richtofen want to do this? Since Sam uses scans of Samantha's brain, could he be trying to find out from this AI what Samantha saw, did, or learned while she was trapped in the Dark Aether? Because even though we hear Richtofen saying to Sam in that radio, "We're friends, you can trust me, you can tell me whatever," he manipulates her into believing what she told him about a promise that she couldn't keep is just a nightmare and never happened when it actually did. Richtofen says to her, "I will help you to figure out what's real and what isn't." So he invented this AI version of Sam so that he could manipulate her memories by the sounds of it, and I'm guessing extract information out of her, make her believe some things that she remembers are just nightmares, other things actually happened, and try to trick her to get out of her whatever he wants. But he may have pushed her too far. Even though Sam is AI, all of the Project Janus staff in Liberty Falls, Moline, Pelletier, Panos, through radios, tell us what Richtofen was actually doing to Sam after.
It started as whispers, these idiotic claims that Janus leadership was holding someone captive. But it didn't stop there. Other, more deranged gossip suggested the victim was being held in some sort of tank.
If I don't survive, let this be my testimony. I put the blame squarely on Director Richtofen. He is obsessed with using Aetherium to disrupt space-time. That much I knew, but there was so much more I didn't. I assisted him with the containment sphere. Sam had become erratic, even defiant. Richtofen didn't give a shit. He just kept plowing forward. He was more than willing to risk what's happening now for whatever he was really after. I can't imagine what would motivate anyone to go this far. Considering what he's done, I hope he never gets it.
No one sees that this entire operation is little Edward's tinderbox. All it requires is one lit match and foam. Whatever Sam is telling him, his patience is waning. The longer her promises remain unfulfilled, the more erratic he becomes. If we fail, it will all be down to Richtofen and his hubris.
Dr. Moline tells us that Sam became erratic and defiant, but Richtofen didn't care. He just kept plowing through and was willing to risk everything to get whatever it was he wanted from her. Panos says to us, whatever Sam was telling Richtofen, it caused his patience to wane. The longer her promises to him remained unfilled, the more erratic Richtofen became. So there was clearly something Richtofen was trying to get from Sam by manipulating her, but it didn't work. He kept pushing and pushing, eventually causing Sam, just like Richtofen, to become erratic herself and defiant. We then see in the Liberty Falls intro cutscene, Sam completely disobeys Richtofen and becomes free at the exact same time that the undead outbreak happens.
I swear to you, Sam, you've never been free!
But Edward, I already am.
So that gives us the origins and I guess a bit of a background on her, but as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we still don't know her motives. How has an AI version of Samantha become almost, to me anyway, sentient? And to be honest, considering she is AI, artificial intelligence, the more time goes on, the more you say to her, the more you tell her, the more she learns. AI then begins to adapt to that. The more AI learns, the smarter it gets, so it can help us even more. But in this case, the more Sam learned, the smarter she got. It's almost like she got to a point where she outsmarted Richtofen. Almost like the horror movies where the AI, the very thing that we created, is now attempting to kill us and take over. Anyway, just taking it back a little bit, it seems like Sam's network was then set up across all of the Project Janus facilities, including Terminus, and in Terminus, as a part of the main Easter egg when we connect the last module, we power up the island's network, and Sam starts talking to us, where she basically tells us, look, I was created by Richtofen, but I can help you to escape this island that he's put you on, and at the same time we can work together to help save the real version of Samantha from the Dark Aether. and the crew has put their trust on her. We're now working alongside Sam to collect the Sentinel artifact to attempt to rescue Samantha. But how do we even know anything that Sam has told us is true? If she outsmarted Richtofen, if she didn't give him what he wanted in terms of information, why wouldn't she do the same to us? If Sam's got to a point of almost being sentient, then does she now have her own motives? What's in it for her? Why is she helping us out? Is she telling the truth? Did Richtofen push her so far that she became defiant against him and now wants to work with us to take her creator down, Richtofen? Is she truly interested in rescuing Samantha, perhaps because that's the person she's based off? Or is she acting as a double agent? Perhaps all of this was Richtofen's plan. Is Sam still working for Richtofen? Did he eventually get through to her in other radios that we just haven't heard yet? And she is actually doing his bidding, manipulating the crew into finding the Sentinel artifact for Richtofen himself. We don't really know what she's up to, but if you listen to some of the new quotes that we have in Citadel Day more, some of the character conversations, they're super interesting.
You was the head of Requiem's Unnatural Sciences Division, an expert xenobiologist. Your knowledge could be crucial in understanding these recent outbreaks. It would be logical for us to collaborate.
I don't know. I'll think about it. After we've recovered the artifact.
Sam, what's the deal with these incursions? I thought the Dark Aether was sealed away.
It was, but a dimension is not easily contained. Perhaps a Project Janus experiment failed, or something on the other side could have broken through. There is insufficient data at this time.
Sam, what can you tell me about these dimensional breaches? What's causing them?
Unknown. The initial breaches hit Project Janus sites. Statistically, this suggests Project Janus as the cause. But I lack the data to rule out other possibilities.
And now there's an outbreak here? Does Richtofen know where we are? He got that kind of juice?
Maybe. The director has been focused, withdrawn, and obsessed with personal projects.
The undead attacked after we arrived, right? Peck, what did you do?
So the crew are asking Sam what the deal is with these undead outbreaks. The incursion zones were supposed to be closed off in Cold War and there should be no more zombies. And some of the theories Sam gives to us are maybe these zombie outbreaks are a product of Project Janus's failed experiments, or something on the other side could have broken through, suggesting that there may be something in the Dark Aether, a new entity, perhaps a new Elder God, similar to the Forsaken, someone that's replaced him, that may be causing these new undead outbreaks. But what they've also noticed is these outbreaks aren't random, they're not taking place in random locations across the globe like they did in Black Ops Cold War. The zombies are following them specifically. The undead outbreaks are only happening wherever the crew go. Terminus and Citadel Day Moore, of course, they don't know about the one in Liberty Falls, which could suggest that there is someone sending the zombies after them. Now, at the end of Black Ops Cold War, the Forsaken was contained, so he is no longer the Elder God in the Dark Aether, and even though this doesn't necessarily mean anything, there's not always a correlation between the two, but the announcer in Black Ops 6 Zombies, the person that you hear when you pick up the power-ups such as the nuke, max ammo, double points, insta-kill, stuff like that, sounds different to the announcer in Cold War who was the Forsaken. We have a new Zombies announcer in Black Ops 6. Like I said, that doesn't always mean the announcer is the person or entity in control of the zombies. For example, in World at War, the announcer was Samantha, and she was in control of the undead. In Black Ops 2, the announcer changed to Richtofen when he was in control of the undead, but then in Black Ops 3, we had the Samantha announcer voice again, but she wasn't in control of the zombies, so you get the point. There wasn't always a correlation between the two. But this could tell us whoever this voice is we hear in BO6
Max Ammo
could be the new entity that has replaced the Forsaken in the Dark Aether, because there has to be someone in there, right? Every time an Elder God dies, as we've seen throughout the history of the Dark Aether, they get replaced. There is always something at the top of the food chain. That was the Forsaken, he was gone, someone had to have replaced him. But who?
First the outbreak on Terminus, now this. There's a pattern here. Someone's out there pulling the strings, getting in our way. It's like they enjoy watching us squirm.
Or someone's also got Richtofen in their sights. Seems we're not the only players in the game.
Sam reckons you might be able to work out where all these howling turds are coming from.
No idea's more substantial than a wet paper bag just yet. And without Requiem's labs, I'm only a pocket knife. I mean, I used to be a scientific chainsaw. On fire with bloody lasers on.
Seriously, where do these undead freaks come from?
Imagine a cosmic landfill, but instead of busted TVs, it's packed with all the evil shit the universe has ever puked up. That is the Dark Aether. As for why they're crashing the party, Sam's got theories, but for my money, I say we ask Richtofen.
Real question is, though, is someone trying to get in our way? Or in Richthofen's.
Listening to some other conversations, Gray points out that there is a pattern here. First the outbreak at Terminus, now the outbreak at Citadel Daymore. She speculates that there must be someone out there pulling the strings, trying to get in their way, trying to stop them. Or as Weaver suggests, perhaps that very same thing is also trying to stop Richthofen, and in order to stop him, they need to stop them. Gray is trying to figure out if it is someone who's sending these zombies after us, are they trying to stop us, or are they actually trying to stop Richthofen? Because if Richthofen is actually using us right now, and all of this was a part of his plan for us to escape and then track down the Sentinel artifact, perhaps whatever is sending these zombies after us realizes that and knows they actually need to stop us in order to stop Richthofen, because we're the ones who are unknowingly doing Richthofen's bidding. It is us who is going to hand the artifact over to him. And the most interesting quote out of the bunch for me is, ironically, from Carver, the most boring character, where he questions, what is Sam getting out of all of this? Why is she actually helping us? What is her angle?
Fingers crossed this isn't a total goose chase. And this artifact can bring back Maxis, just like Sam says.
Nah, I don't know. I don't trust things I don't understand, and that goes for the computer lady and the ancient artifact. Let's play this out. Kraft points us at the shiny magic doodad, we bring back Maxis, and then kick down Richthofen's door. What's Sam get out of this? What's her angle?
If Richthofen treats his artificial friends like his real ones, maybe she just wants them gone.
Weaver says if Richthofen has treated her how he treats all of his friends, then maybe she just wants him gone, which would be a pretty good theory, because as we heard in the radios earlier on, when he first powered up Sam for the first time, he was manipulating her, and then we heard through the other radios from Pelletier, Panos, etc., how Richthofen pushed her, causing her to become erratic and defiant. She could simply be helping us because she wants to get revenge for what Richthofen did to her mentally. It just sounds weird thinking you could cause AI to turn on you by essentially giving it verbal abuse and mentally manipulating it, but maybe that's the case. Perhaps Sam just wants to get revenge. But I don't know, I don't quite trust her. I think she has a different motive. So there we go, just a couple of things I wanted to look into in a video. Sam, what her motives are, and who has replaced the Forsaken in the Dark Aether. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.